This little head-to-head fnatic coming into this Legend stage. They look good back in the challenges, right? I was quite impressed with what we got, the mileage this team was able to give us, and things look good to open up their Legend stage run with the win over NIP on Inferno. Ended up getting super close, but then they cop a convincing L to Heroic, and now here we stand with them 1-1.
No waiting around though, instant util on that A site to get FASHR behind the door, and no one knows. Sunpius jumps into the headshot, and meanwhile outside has been corrupted. fnatic are wrapping the rafters, going in heaven. Roy, look at this guy, he has gone all the way around the world, and he's just gonna get shut down. mezii 2 taps, maybe a third in main. Valdi's giving away his position. The helping hand of Nika Doz out the hut does him in as Snappy left as the lone ramp man. It's always a predictable rotation, and they're holding for it. Crims even gets out of dodge after a missed shot. And this multi-layered A attack for fnatic was perfect. Snappy, can he do anything about it? Doesn't seem to be the case. fnatic with a pistol, they're all over the place.
Yeah, great round to pick up, right? The Deaths, they were kind of talking about Nika Doz. We were even having a little chat about him. I really hope that we can kind of see his form, look to level up as we go deeper into the Legend stage, because he's that bottom-rated player right now of the entire Legend stage.
And that's not what we expect of him. That's not what we've seen from him in majors gone by.
Exactly, right? Normally a very influential character, very influential AWP player, someone who is integral to the successes for fnatic. You know, maybe that lends a bit more credence to the rest of the team, the fact that they've still picked up a win, but it's certainly not what you want, and not from the guy fielding the most expensive gun in the game. I can certainly tell you that much. Now towards Secret fnatic, they make their play. They've got the smoke wall down to obscure vision. But Madden is down here.
Ooh.
He was about to smoke that, and something made him decide not to. A decision that he might end up regretting, having to just dig from the vents. Madden boxed into a corner and dead after the first. FASHR moving in towards ramp is tagged by this scout, Sunpius, not someone to be trifled with the scoped weapons.
Ooh.
And FASHR heard that, heard the footstep.
Nice jump. That's clean as well. You just dodge any chance of your opponent hitting that immediate headshot and ending your round. As he lands, he hits that kill, and now they can just go for it. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. They will save, but that's honestly a reasonable call, given the positions, given the lack of kit util. And that's a decent second round. They take some good damage. They force guns out of fnatic, but it's still going to be a 2-1 lead, or 2-0 lead, rather. 2-1, that's the end of the game right there. That's the result where these teams will sit in the Legend stage. The winner of this only being one BO3 away from qualifying to champions, to the playoffs, to the top 8, to the arena. Yeah, awkward timing there. fnatic were throwing in util on that top side, which drew Madden back up the vent, leaving D-Hut alone on double doors. So no smoke for B, no stop in fnatic's lower push. And now just pistols for ENCE.
fnatic lobbing in all this A util, and D-Hut looking a knife in the vent.
Yeah, it's a good play. If you see that smoke come down door, always a good idea to get down lower, get ahead of it. You don't know if players have slipped past you. At least this position guarantees no one has. But with the wall of smokes outside, D-Hut must know that there also could be players crawling through lower. Are his legs high enough on the ladder? Or will Roy find that info?
Something that's scary is, like, if Roy... Oh, never mind. D has come down. I was going to say, if, like, Roy never got this info, they probably do drop vent to try and join him. Yeah. Or he comes up.
Oh, my God.
Oh, they've traded places.
Oh, my goodness.
They've traded places. And D, that could have been a chance, but Roy's going to come up the vent. An instant A hit. Split through B. When's the last time you saw that? All the openers go the way of fnatic, and they do manage to kind of get back control of this situation. There was some weird timings being hit down at lower, but all those worries subside. Valde in the heart. One to his name already, but will he get any more? The wrap's coming in. It's not even needed. Crims would have had that if mezii didn't. And for Snappy, he's got a scout. He can't see anything. He's getting naded. There's a lot of util coming up into the heavens. And
Ouch.
there's a bullet as well from mezii as fnatic find the conversions.
Oh, this is a very fresh T-side beginning, right? Like we've had a lot of different attacks for fnatic. They've been taking lower as a precedent. They tried to wrap heaven on the pistol. That round, it's a bit panicky, but it was always meant to be A, it seemed like, with everyone lining up door util, unless Roy was just trying to provide a path down vent. A lot riskier of a move, but it works wonderfully. And everyone's hitting their shots. So ENCE are going to have to come in storming into this CT-sided rifle round. Some Pius on the AWP, though, is a big piece, especially when you talk about struggling AWP in Nikadoz. Some Pius is someone who we expect to see big things on from. Valde drops. They've already run past it. They're out in the site. That's a team flash. Fully blind is FASHR, but Valde's gone for the round. Spammed out. They're already up heaven and behind the main smoke. They line up, but Roy saves the day. And backed out is Snappy. He doesn't want to jump the gun on this flank, and maybe rightly so. They're going back to him.
No, that's crazy. Snappy.
Oh,
waiting here. And now they've left Nikadoz. They don't even attempt to trade that. It's a bit of
what's he? Oh,
FASHR
lining up a heaven flash.
Catches some Pius who was hoping to set up Diha. Yeah, this one's done. His first attempt in at the rifle is just going to be a save, and Diha can't get away with it. I've got to say, you know, that little push through main for FASHR is lovely, right?
Yeah.
To go and hunt there. It's very, very common to see that flash lined up from CT to try and send a heaven player in. So Pius was just waiting for Diha to underhand the one-way smoke. That's all that was happening there. And that moment of him like stood out in the open at CT, flash in his hands. It's the perfect window for FASHR to go hunting.
Especially when he was holding that angle the whole time. And of course, Counter-Strike, we've all played it. We all know what it's like. The second you stop looking somewhere, that's when the opponent appears. But wow, what an awful way for that round to go. Even considering fnatic actually bailed from the A side. They gave it up to go back to lobby. I think they missed the molly. It was meant to go into radio. It bounced badly. Nikadoz gets killed as a result. That's unlucky. But fnatic go, fine, we won't flank then. Snappy's molly. Let's just walk back out A. And FASHR finds that swing kill onto CT. So already fnatic setting a lot of stuff up on this top site right now. That's a scary sign. If you can't hold your top site in gun rounds, we need a response out of ENCE. It probably won't be here. They're going to put their money where their mouth is. Snappy on a buy. Everyone else pistols, a scout. Diha can't stop the cross. Some Pius, great round to make this play through the smoke. There is someone behind him. Nikadoz gets a pick, but some Pius lets the third man pass. And if he activates, he can shoot them in the arse. They are crossing garage. Kills on a plate. He's patient. He's waiting for the right shot, and he delivers the goods.
That's beautiful with their backs turned. Some Pius knocked out of the round, but he's lived up to the hype already. He's done his part in it. Just over a minute left, so still time for fnatic here. Still time to get tricky in the 2-on-3. And if they hold, if they're patient, ENCE just might bring these fights to them. FASHR, well, he keep waiting. Scared about Silo, but if he holds secret, he's onto a winner here. Bomb still on the back of Roy, isn't budging. fnatic do not want to move too quickly. They don't want to be too brash. They're hoping that through patience, through thinking before action, they're going to see this one through to the very end.
Oh, I just don't know how ENCE is still holding this. It's so scary. But they know if they go in the yard and the rifles are there, they will lose. And so they wait for fnatic to come to them. There's a kill. Bomb down. FASHR dies. And Valdez saves it with a trade. That patience for ENCE is paramount. And it wins them an eco round. The rifle plays no part. It's all pistols. And those deags for some Pius as well. That, you know, those are not easy shots to recover them that quick and to hit both heads after missing loads of opportunities to take the shot. What a way to win a round. fnatic kicking themselves. ENCE on the board. Shouldn't have been there, but sooner rather than later. Got an AWP outside. Oh, missed shot. Probably the first shot fired this map for some Pius with that AWP. Do fnatic want A as well? Already lining up roof util. Seems like they might just go.
Valde wins that first fight, but one man out, one man in. Oh, even burning a little bit, but he's gotten to a little safe area here. Deals with mezii before the trade comes through. Nikado's the man to do him in. Snappy out on an island, has to drop into the back of the site, but Madden does have this cross. It's a nice crossfire between the two of them. Gonna be hard-pressed to get past this. fnatic, they might decide to look for other options. They get a man down through the vents. Roy separated from the rest of the gang, and Crims, that is a big fight to have won. Madden dead at the CT vent. And the last thing they heard was a player drop lower. Pius is at ramp and will collect that free frag onto Nikadoz. Down the vent, Roy sees the legs, and there we go. That's the route back up A once more. And I do like it from fnatic in these mid-round moments, slowing it right down, gauging the reactions from their opponents, and not overcommitting. Not you know, getting ahead of themselves, trying to end the round. I think that's been their biggest problem in all of these games, is it feels like sometimes they just want it to be over. And we're finally starting to see a more restrained fnatic. One that's a little smart. Now, this one is a little scarier, maybe.
Kit back sight, but yeah, he's not going for it. And honestly, you know, a lot of players would have gone for that 1v1, but I think it's better he didn't. There's no way he would have won that with Roy in heaven on a main plant. That's literally the last place you're looking. So little does he know it, he made absolutely the right call. Was not too winnable of a 1v1, and fnatic do it again. And yeah, I think you make a really good point. We definitely saw those errors in that NIP game yesterday where fnatic had a big lead and they had a couple of match points and they were very keen to reface. Nikadoz, you know, making some mistakes on long side with the AWP and Inferno on CT, kept re-peeking and they kept digging themselves graves. But no, the slowdown in these mid rounds so far has been great. Sure, it did lose him that anti-eco going down vent, or sorry, going down secret, but other than that round, it's done fnatic a lot of favors.
You know, even though it lost them that round, I think that round it was more so credit to ENCE than like fnatic really setting a foot wrong. You know, I think it was like the slowdown. Exactly.
You know,
so
they went together.
Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree. I really like what we're getting out of them now.
This is, you know, I think ENCE were one of the big question mark teams. You know, I think they were probably the highest variety in terms of people going 3-0, 0-3. They could have gone anywhere here. We don't really know ENCE's form coming into this tournament. Pius's first major as well. You know, already just the AWP change alone and getting rid of Hades on this team was a surprise. So I think Pius is a great addition, no doubt. But still his debut, still unproven. On the biggest of stages, Cologne being his breakout. More so than anywhere else. Back on Movistar. Flashes out ramp. Snappy blind in the corner. Common spot to check. FASHR will clear it, and Roy's going to even get an entry outside. He's been great at getting down secret, but not much further this time. Pius now in lower, setting up quick for this ramp split. Now, this was going to be B for fnatic, so let's see what their mid-round looks like now as they've lost their lower control. They go back up heaven. ENCE are barely here. Madden getting battered and bruised, has to take the lobby, and Valdi tries to flank, but Crims goes wide outside, and the lobby push denied by Nikadoz. What a beautiful mid-round again for fnatic. I'm loving what mezii's calling on this T side. One of the most interesting things about seeing mezii take over in-game leading was not the similarities necessarily in calling, but the map pool for fnatic never seemed to sway. Always overpass, always nuke. These were go-to maps for Alex's fnatic, and mezii has been calling some incredibly well-played T side rounds.
Yeah, I do. No, I'm really inclined to agree. You know, I've kind of routinely outed myself as a bit of a mezii fan.
I think it's hard not to be.
I think it is hard not to be. You know, you can always just tell the effort he puts in. Everyone I've ever spoken to about this guy never really has anything but good things to say about how hard he works.
And you know, we'll hold this point.
Yeah, because Roy's getting pretty aggro over here towards outside, and this is where the one rifle could look to get involved. You would love a flash here, but you don't have one. And so Diha just elects to give it up. They're going to get down secret.
Yeah, Pius is here. The most unarmored player in the round. Only a Deagle. They've been molling every time. We haven't really seen a full commit down B for fnatic. So this is fairly undefended. It's often just been Roy on his own. He will lead it first. Vent down for Madden. Oh, they find some pious through the floor.
Still, the fact that you've snuck through the vent is pretty big, Madden. And now they think vent's held, they think it's clear.
Nice.
Oh, that's a nasty surprise. mezii had no clue.
Oh.
But Crims is there to pick up the pieces.
He's been icing them this game already. Easy lobby hold. And yeah, let's go back to mezii, because Diha's probably going to save and spawn. You know, I think one of the most interesting things about that is, especially when, and we can say this as Brits, like one of the big things about UK CS and UK teams was often attitude, was often, you know, mindset, toxicity, whatever you want to call it. And I think, you know, there are examples of players who've had problems with that in the past, but I think mezii has had none of that. He's had the best mindset. He's clearly got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a lot of faith from European players that he's played with. He also was one of the first UK, not one of the first, but in his career, he didn't stick around in the UK for too long. He was in Gamer Legion, remember? You know, not this current core, but an old roster, playing with Europeans very early on in his career. So he had that experience of getting outside, you know, of the UK scene and not being stuck. And it's, yeah, look at the results.
But, you know, he can't say water bottle at the end of the day.
That's true. You know, there's, you know, it swings around.
He's still a clown, isn't he?
Water
right.
ball.
No, the other thing I was going to say
Actually,
is, like,
he's very well spoken.
Even,
so I'm sure he can.
Even taking, you know, like the Britishness out of the equation for a moment, just this idea of, you know, a star transitioning into the IGL role is something that's kind of very much been hit and miss in the past. You know, it's like you have some, I'd say, you know, like your kind of Tabsons who took that role on, who end up excelling in that regard. Apex. But then there have been, you know, Apex who admittedly had kind of gone past the golden years, right?
Sure.
And that was more like how he had like this renaissance almost. But, you know, with mezii, it's a case where sometimes it does just fall apart when the stars try to cool. They lose that fragging power. They can't quite micromanage at that same level. They're just not built that way. Doesn't seem to be the case with this guy, but finally we're on to a good round for ENCE. So this is more like some pious found success with the AWP. Diha's finally on the board, right? Gets his killing in this round to go 1-8. And Valdet, don't...
T-Roof.
No, he was up T-Roof, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like looking on the minimap, trying to work out, how's that just happened then?
Yeah, nice round for ENCE. It is a loose round for fnatic. They take duels outside, round the smokes, and lots of kills come through for ENCE, even a dry walk on ramp denied. So that's a beautiful round for ENCE. It's a needed round with already a great foundation set by fnatic on the T side of Nuke. So ENCE need to build upon it now. Some pious still able to AWP. And I think on the flip side, like, we do kind of have high expectations of ENCE just off of the players provided, right? A Danish in-game leader, you know, Valdir, a recent addition, one of the, you know, Denmark's best players at a point in time. Oh, what? No. What? He hit him for 50 with an AWP through the red box. Roy eviscerates some pious. I don't know how he gets that kill. FASHR falls as well. We've evened things up in the lobby. Valde's taking a lot of space here in door. A-Util's getting lined up, perhaps, for mezii, but you can't hit that A site. You don't even have lobby. Crims finds a way to silent drop off silo, but then back to the T-spawn. Going to move outside with his team. You can't really do anything about this. Valde's taking so much space. fnatic just have to bypass it, but thank goodness they've killed the AWP. They know they can walk dry. Maybe they get fights. Maybe Diha risks it. Trying to fake out that A site. mezii throwing all his util in. That's actually going to cause a bit of a lapse in info. And the flash means they can cross past the Heaven player. Snappy's here to stop it, though.
Going to be able to get this info ahead of time. Jump spotting, it's pretty darn safe. But this boost could actually catch him. It's just an extra second of airtime. And yeah, look, there we go. Snappy, head taken off. That's the B entry you needed. Madden, trying to sneak down the vent. It just gives me anxiety. This whole scene, I don't like it. And yeah, that's why Nikados, the freest kill he's ever had.
His rifling's been sick. He's not even needed to AWP this game, Harry. He's 9-5 off of rifle entries right now.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we said, like, bottom rating player at the Legend stage. That part's true. But, you know, you can sometimes just have a kind of rough day as far as it goes. And that feels more like what we got out of him.
Yeah, they also played Heroic on a T side of Mirage, and Heroic in both their BO1 openers took 13-2 CT sides. I talked about it with Heku earlier. 13-2 both games. And obviously they close them out both pretty quickly as a result. That's insane. Heroic, if you're sleeping on this team in the major, wake up. Their next match later on versus Cloud9 will be a banger. Certified. Hood Classic. It's a BO3, keep your eyes on it. But yeah, fnatic got trifled by Heroic in that game as well. So Nikador's 5-17, but there really was no standout player. There really was no saving grace from anyone. So yeah, a couple of slow games to start. But now fnatic are finding their footing, their form, and feet on the ground. 8-2. ENCE use another timeout.
Yeah, chance to mull this one over. They know that, like, the half is still recoverable, but it really, and I mean it really hinges on winning this round here and now. Like, this is the golden ticket. This is where you get to decide, like, are fnatic just running away with this game, like just flat out beating ENCE down into the ground, or, you know, do ENCE have a leg to stand on after all? Their money is gone if they lose this. They've got nothing, and at that point,
you get rolled.
Yeah, you are getting rolled. There's no denying it. And already there's a case to be made. Like I say, the route to recovery, still an option.
All gap. No, they jump it.
Just hinges on converting the round that D has started here and now. A 5v4 out of the gate.
Oh, that's a spam. Oh, the drop on main, on the reload. That's such a crazy Crims play. Some pious trades. Do they know about the garage, man? Right now, they think this player got down B. Oh, but Nikador does him in garage. 2-on-3 now. Dude, his rifling, tip-top shape right now. Vale's tucked in main. He saw him on the backup. Back in he goes for more. And Snappy trades that kill, leaving mezii in the 1v2. All right. Been calling well. How's his fragging? Eyes on the crosshair, off the minimap. Snap back to his stardom.
No one else to worry about but himself here. More akin to the old days, as you say, the days of stardom, the days in the limelight. Waiting outside of main, he's very, very patient to open this up. Trying to keep a cool head on his shoulders all day. That's reflected in the cooling, how it's reflected in the clutching. He's going to start to wrap through main, but it is being held back in lobby. This is a nice angle for Madden with the door blowing off. mezii will be open to it as he tries to cross in. It just becomes a question. Who checks this better? mezii's going to win that head-to-head. Tagged down low, sure, at 25 HP, but Snappy does not want to make any noise. He doesn't want to give away his whereabouts just yet as he sneaks all the way up the ramp. Full silent on the approach. mezii will have no indication that this is a heaven retake, so it's fully dependent on timings and intuition for mezii. Snappy's played this one well, but mezii's tucked in, playing an angle that is not open to the heavens. Snappy in the sight, will check for it, and wins that 1v1.
Great clear for Snappy, right? Two in-game leaders, Trifle and Snappy, the more experienced one, comes out the best. Nice kill. He had to get that quick as well. The closest kit was in main, and you know, it's a backside plant, so that certainly gives Snappy a little bit of info. Yeah, mezii, it's about as good a position he can pick to actually play that bomb. He's so low, he doesn't want to be caught running off of a fake tap, so he tries to stick close, but it's too little, too late. And yeah, just how late Snappy is coming in through heaven there means you probably discount that position more than you would typically in a one-on-one. 8-3. ENCE, you said it yourself, Harry. They had to win that round to avoid getting rolled. Well, now, can they keep the good times rolling? Can they keep building on this CT side? I would guess a molly on the roof has put these smokes to bed for fnatic. It's that or a miss lineup, but usually that lands a little deeper to miss lineup. Snappy's going to fall off. Flashed out ramp. fnatic's fake outside has been seen by Roy, so they know these smokes haven't worked. It's not like they're walking into the unknown. That info flash did not see Roy. He now has a timing play available if he wants to make a move. Snappy on B, still holding down.
He's getting exec'd on though, right? Util coming out. Even if this isn't the commit from ramp, it's gonna keep the fear in him, but they're not gonna commit to fighting. They're not gonna try and challenge this one man at B. And so Snappy, sure, the flashes were scary, but that's all they were. Now he's that early warning system that, guys, they took ramp, but they're not coming B. And so ENCE are not gonna move a muscle. They're 3 strong on this upper side of the map. And even though mezii waits tucked in at ramp, the fact he's still waiting there, is he gonna try and late lurk this up through the heavens maybe?
Roy
dead, the mowdown starts to commence, and it is just mezii left on this wrap. Here it is, up into heaven, but a lot of work to do for the man at the helm of fnatic. A 1v4 when it started, 1v2 in the A site, and he can't get past Valde.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mess. You know, even with Snappy on B, it just kept 3 strong on that top site. And Pius, who's holding outside for so long, because of the earlier info flash, actually just rotates out heaven. So while there was even a heaven wrap available for Roy, he takes, you know, a good option going main, but he gets picked by the orb. And there are literally 4 players on A there for ENCE. They were not fooled by that fake out on lower. Really nice hold for ENCE just to keep standing on that top site. Snappy does not panic on lower. If he gets picked, that round looks very different, but full flash on ramp, drops, survives, and it sets ENCE up for a recovery on the CT side. They're not going to win the half, but they can hold on here. So let's see what they've got for us right near the end. A few rounds left to make this scoreline a little sweeter for fnatic, but first Pistols. I'm not going to count them out. They've won some absolutely stupid eco rounds this tournament, mainly on the CT side though. But let's see if they've brought anything interesting in. Nika does. Oh, off the late flash as well. He stops in the smoke and then he runs wide. Fash has got a kill. This can spiral out of control very quickly. They're even planting backside. Madden's got an angle. His teammate's giving away his position though by spamming, so he's not a surprise. And AK gifted over to Nika does, and he's putting it to use.
Fash has even grabbed one. He's gotten all the way to CT vent and grabbed this AK that got dropped in main. That's crazy! FASHR nails them from the CT vent, and D-Head doesn't even get that info. Imagine having a save versus a round where it was like, mezii had a Glock. That was it, a Glock and a flash. Now he's going up to the heavens. Look at him, look at him. It's like whack-a-mole. Fine, yeah, Snappy, you won that fight, sure. But you've lost the war. fnatic on to 9.
How do they win these ecos, Harry? How?
They seem to do it with don't get me wrong, right? I think it'll be easy to like bash ENCE here, but fnatic do manage to do so much in low econ rounds on a crazy consistent basis.
I mean, you could see that coming together, right? Because they threw that double vent smoke out. Nika does actually, I love what he did there. He stopped in the smoke to wait for the flash. He wasn't taking spawn. As soon as he beat the Molotov, he goes, well, hit me with a flash, I'm ready. He goes out, FASHR gets the pick, and as we always say on these kind of rounds, especially on T-sides, on a map like Nuke, where it's very position-based, where anchors have to hold and get multi-kills, if you get that first pick with the Tech 9, it will fall apart.
And man, like this is where, you know, I think you kind of need one of these ENCE players at least to like kind of be that identifiable star. Pius very much used to be the guy back on Movistar, right? It was phenomenal. There were cases made for Valde to be someone to be the star player, like one of the big players of Denmark. He's pretty quiet here. D-Her meant to be the Polish hope, but nothing happening. Valde dead after 1 in this round. Madden on top of the hut.
Ooh, it's bomb.
Alongside D-Her's nade, they do drop the bomb inside of the A side. Things get a little weirder now. That's a lot of damage downrange to Pius. Roy finds one in the meantime. There's still this main man, but he's low on HP and running out of time. Pius, bailed out by Madden, is still in the round. Finally, someone gives us the good. It's Madden with this double. Roy tries to trade it, but a missed shot, missed opportunity. Both these low players given time to get in the crossfire, and there's Snappy up in the heavens to seal the deal on that round.
Okay, Madden, that's it. Major Maddenness. We were waiting for it. We needed a hero, and he gives us the goods. That's a lovely save onto Crims, and then the headshot on that hot player. And the whole time, both A-site defenders are very low. But Madden puts up a round for ENCE. And, you know, fnatic, I can't blame them for just abusing this A site right now. It's how they've gotten into this game. But Madden finally puts one to bed and holds on to the half just about. Butterfingers, though. It's still a 9-round T-side, no matter how you paint it. Can they find double digits before all is said and done? Another broken buy for fnatic, but they've won it with less. Need I say more? FASHR's been on it as well. Him and Roy have been, you know, it was Nikados early in the game, but FASHR and Roy are getting a lot of, well, it's Roy with entries, it's FASHR with these post-plant kills, forcing ENCE to save.
It's because FASHR doesn't have ENCE going through on his pick'ems. He's got to make it happen somehow.
Yeah, true.
All right, mezii dead immediately. Gonna have to lead this one from beyond the grave. Roy fast out in the sight, but man, given room and no one's turning to attention. They're letting him get away with murder. Crims replies, and now down to the 1v1. What a crazy round.
They think he's a ramp player, right? But look at him. Look at how deep Snappy's got. This is, you know, an IGL 1v1 mode. He's going to win his second 1v1 clutch in this map, surely, with his position. He turns! Oh, he's been spotted.
Boy.
Snappy, he can drop, but he doesn't want to be caught mid-air, and Nikados dies with only a thing. Snappy holds on. The in-game leader finds some clutches, but still clutching at straws are ENCE as fnatic hold a 9-round T-side on Nuke.
To my face, tell me now why you want to wait. Running out of words you wanna say. I've been looking for you, looking for you, looking for you.
After claiming their second major title earlier in Katowice, the Swedes were now aiming for a third one in Cologne, and for the most part, it seemed almost certain.
Through the smoke, it's going to be one. Can he find the second? He does have time. He's going to find a second. It's a third!
However, on the first map of the grand final against Envious, fnatic found themselves between a rock and a hard place. Time was running out, but in their time of need, Krim stood up to the challenge and opened his team a path to victory.
You saw MBK, he's going full on. He's just ready to pounce on through, and why would they slow down? There's the flash, that's going to catch Krims out. They're going to push on through. MBK gets one, but Krims with a spray down. He gets himself the triple. The fnatic are not done yet.
Can you believe it?
fnatic lead the way with a more than convincing T-side to open up Nuke. For ENCE, we see them start to switch on there towards the very end. A couple of key clutches going the way of Snappy, right? They owe a hell of a lot to him, the man at the helm of this ENCE squad. We do need heroes to emerge around him. It's not enough to have, you know, this kind of, I don't want to say one-man army. Snappy's only been winning clutches.
Yeah, Madden's been sick. Umpires has hit some shots. He's mostly been out of position. It's the speed on this T side. The Snappy's called for, and mezii has called for the demise of ENCE with headshots galore off of the dualies. That will do 2 guns, 3 kills, 10 rounds. fnatic back in business.
Yeah, out of all the ways that could have gone for ENCE, they were kind of hoping to hit the ground running, and they hit the ground, and they didn't do the running part.
Got to run before you can fly, but yeah, not too flying around for ENCE. Those dualies, man. I mean, hey, it's a bit of karma, right? Think about that round where someone's top hut for ENCE and no one clears it for fnatic. Same thing happens here. Everyone's looking afar, no one's looking up. It's raining. Cloudy with a chance of mezii on that A site. Crims. Oh, that flash, it hits him, but it doesn't blind him. He'll take it. Full vision and full control of the FAMAS. 2 kills. There's even help from Hell, and that's all they'll send him. 3 kills from Crims, man. And that's not an eco. That's a force buy for ENCE. They get absolutely shredded. This is screaming success for fnatic. ENCE are going to have to hit the ground running quick on their gun round.
Bruh, like, yeah, it's going to take so much. That's the worry, you know? Like, CT sides have just been incredibly strong throughout the event thus far. And there shouldn't really be a reason for that to slow down here, you know? fnatic, it feels like they've kind of already done the legwork. ENCE going to be hinging super heavily on that first rifle round netting success. And if it doesn't, this is going to be a very, very one-sided matchup. One where maybe even the scoreline doesn't quite allude to just how one-sided it was.
Oh, yeah.
Nuke does. Little snappy.
Ooh, nice.
Lovely dig out of Valde. But the rest of his teammates churned up outside. Deha looking worse for wear. Injured. As he tries to cross, Roy knows about the man on top of main. He's seen the shadow, he hears the footsteps, he knows that Valde's there, but can't commit to the fight to deal with him. Krim should have it. Ooh.
All right, if we get a late game Deha activation, this guy can be a real tank for ENCE's T side.
Oh, don't fumble that!
There's even a bomb plant. They need to hunt this kill. The longer Valde lives, the more problematic it is, and Deha's dodged it inside of the vent. mezii, he's backing out. They've lost. They're
just
completely
wasting
confused.
Valde's just wasting time. That is beautiful. He's skirting around the box, and mezzi's going up to A.
No, okay.
Gets the kill on a Valde, dropping back down now, but Deha's in the vent, and this is the last place you're expecting mezii.
Oh, beautiful.
In the 1v1's been outsmarted, outpositioned, and is now getting wrapped by Deha. The only choice he has is to tap this bomb, hope it baits a peek. It will. mezii gets it.
Ooh.
It's so close,
I think
but
he's
he
got it.
might just have it.
Oh.
mezii wins the 1v1.
Oh.
fnatic managed to save face. For ENCE, a damn good try. I really don't think you could have asked for more there.
That is horrible. What a way to lose a round, friends. Yeah, Valde did so well outside, and Deha snuck right by with his deagle to even get that bomb plant. I can't believe mezii even came up to hunt Valde. He could have just forced that 1v1 on lower. They had 2 separate engagements, but felt like the time was going to be enough for ENCE. Deha, a depressing way to lose an eco round, but a nice try nonetheless. Dear, oh dear. ENCE can't get a grip on this game. It keeps slipping through their fingers. Roy, pushed up outside, will even open onto Deha. And that just would have been such a pump for ENCE to make this game happen.
Oh man. No, that was, and it was played beautifully.
Yeah, that wrap for Valde, the amount of time he bought
Exactly,
alone.
yeah. Like single-handedly, essentially just wasted like 34 seconds, 35 seconds of time over the water. I meant 35 and that's a 34.
How about 38?
Yeah, why not, man?
How about 29?
Maybe even 37 or maybe 28.
0.3 or 0.4?
No, we'll have to find out. ENCE back in the lobby.
Do or die.
Well, we try to iron out specifics. Let's talk Pacifics, like the ocean that ENCE might end up crossing if they have to leave this one. mezii up close, and FASHR nails Madden. Valde with a reply. mezii should be known about. He was lobbing util, but no one checks for him. The crossfires were there on A. The defense is established.
I mean, if they're crossing the Pacific, Harry, they're going the wrong way.
They're flying the long way around.
Yeah, their direction's about as good as this T side right now. Just wrong way. First class flight home. Obviously not elimination yet. This is 1-1, but it's almost won.
Yeah,
by
moving
fnatic.
towards it. And oh man, like if you think there's going to be any respite to be found in some of these lower games.
Oh, true.
Oh boy, have I got news for you.
Yeah, some of these teams in the bottom half, some of these 1-2, 0-2 teams are terrifying right now.
Nah, it's fine. Just like Vitality, Na'Vi, FaZe, if you can imagine it. Just like teams like that. Nikados dead, back in Garage. Good opener for Snappy. Finally, something goes ENCE's way, and this is a lot faster than fnatic were ready for.
Valde tried to force his kill, and he will get it. Roy does take down his in-game leader prior, and FASHR dodges the hut man, but not main. Diha comes in with the goods, 3-on-2. This has to be ENCE's, and it almost certainly is. Oh, the molly forces him forward. 1v1 for the round, and even though he burns, he buys time and sees that bomb. Crims now knows he can find a 1v1 on the A site. They've got to go back.
How weird is this? And Crims is going to try and find a bit of a timing.
Oh, this is perfect.
Really, all he's left with, they're looking at the bomb.
Oh, no.
Oh, they're coming back to check it, but no, they've just looked away. Crims has found this gap. I mean, why would he come up the vent? Why would he? But Madden still turns around and check for it. And will secure that round. Hence, onto a 7th. It's something a little bit faster there, a real pace change. You know, fnatic hadn't really seen much out of ENCE. It would have alluded to a round coming down the pipeline like that.
Oh, yeah, Crims played that well. He really did play that well, but just gets turned by Madden. And he would have been able to figure out where that last player at Valde was because he got that heaven kill as well. So I think that would have been pieced together perfectly for Crims. Massive turnaround kill for Madden, who saved some of these A anchor rounds on CT side. And I mean, we were saying it. We've been saying it all game. They needed to get on the board. That was the round to do it. They couldn't win the eco. They do convert the gun round. One step in the right direction. And I'm yet to count out ENCE with the comebacks we've seen this tournament alone. But on the T side of Nuke, going to be a long way back. Fnatic's money on the rocks, though. Some rifles, one kit, nades mostly lacking. FASHR spamming and finds a smoke kill onto Valde. That's one way to begin, but with the wall of smokes, Diha crosses down lower into Roy, who's got all the util for his team to burn the clock here. And meanwhile, fnatic, maybe they think there's a lot more numbers down B. There are not. They are walking in to the bee's nest. Oh, the turn! Oh, the turn!
What? That is insane. mezii should have been dead, but the timing for Snappy just couldn't get worse. And everywhere, all across the map, ENCE just walking into crosshairs. Madden, 1 versus 5 and dead in the door. It's a done deal, 14-7. ENCE in a real bad spot and unable to catch a break. The only thing they're catching is hands, man. fnatic finding all these timings. Like, look at that. Even from mezii's point of view, it looks pretty devastating. Like, even he sees that Snappy has just turned off the angle.
Yeah, this is crazy for fnatic. This is so dominant. No point has ENCE been in this game. The only reason they've even got score is because Snappy wants some 1v1s to break money. But even in the midst of the madness, fnatic have won ecos of their own. mezii, second top performer in the server, only to FASHR. Again, you wonder, where does it stop for this new in-game leader? How far can he go? How deep can fnatic get in Rio? Crims, he's deep on an angle, right? He's tucked in, committed. The spacing is not great. Oh, Snappy, perfect peek there. He has really tried to save this game for ENCE. A big opener onto ramp is going to let them run wild down lower. They're going to try and force this fight onto Diha, who's trapped behind red with the MAC-10. mezii has dropped quick, and he's dropped 2 as well in the B site. This guy won't stop. Diha's dead outside. He was on a timer as well. 2-on-4 now. Plant comes in. Is there any rest? Is there any redemption? It doesn't seem like it. 15 rounds to Fnatic. They are one away from going 2-1 in the Legends stage. And that's so big, not just because, you know, you're one win off of the champion stage, but as you just mentioned, Harry, think about these teams, think about these legendary rosters looking to make reverse sweeps from 0-2 and 1-2 down. There is some serious firepower. It might even be quote-unquote easier to take on some of these 2-1 teams than FaZe with their backs against the wall, than Vitality with a fire lit beneath them.
Na'Vi in that same position.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh.
No, man. And I looked up the little thing that you just said as well about like Snappy winning clutches. It's him and Valde. There's 3 clutches between them, and 4 rounds can be attributed on the back of clutches won for ENCE. So really, this scoreline could be even more dominant if those clutches didn't come through. This might be the beginning of the end. FASHR's found the blind spot, walks in the fire, walks above them, and locks ENCE out of it. Huge 3K to close, and a dominant win for Fnatic.